So, par for the course. I hope that the audio and everything works because I'm using a different device. But par for the course for studio streamy Sundayness. We ended up having some technical difficulties, or I did. I'm here by myself in the studio, all quiet. My computer has a boot error, my main computer that I stream from. So this is on my cell phone through a different little bit of a platform, so hopefully it works okay. If you can't hear me, let me know. It's kind of challenging to poke around and make sure everything works from this particular device. So if it doesn't work, let me know in the chat. I have chat up here so I can see. We have the reveal for the Medallion Club for September, October, the one that's shipping and almost all out now. I have a... Hi, Teresa. You guys can hear me okay? Just let me know. I have all of the medallions out with the exception of anniversaries because there's a little bit more work with the magnetic backings and all that for the extra medallion that goes in their box for the surprise anniversary gift. Good morning. My farm music. I can't turn that off or adjust the volume, so hopefully it's not too loud. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, El Mundo de Loro Rodoros. And Katie. Good morning, Katie. And Jacqueline. Good morning. Hopefully it works out okay. I have a couple of things to show you that I got in the mail and should be fun. And there's also a fun Easter egg type reveal for something coming in the Medallion Club. So it's not a spoiler. So I'll do that first before I spoil what the medallion is for this month. The peaks are up and the reveal's up on the website. So that should make that a little bit easier. I'm going to have to figure out the boot error on my computer so that I can do all the normal stuff that I would do because I run pretty much everything off of this main computer. Yay! And the Control-Alt-Delete thing did not work for clearing the boot error, so I'm going to have to go in and do it through the back end, which I haven't done in a while. So yeah, hopefully everybody's doing awesome. I don't think that there was any crazy drama in the hobby this week, which is kind of nice. We had the little Fjord come out for the Stablemate Club, and I'm really excited because the deco looks like Gaverny, which is in my Huckconga. Well, he's not in my Huckconga, but then Sanibel, let's see if I can find the right one. Sanibel is one of the colors, which is super fun for me. And then we have a chestnut and a silver bay. So I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to see what I end up getting. Hopefully you all get what you're looking for too. If you're in the Stablemate Club, of course. Love it when I give up secrets. It's the best day! And I was just out shoveling snow. We had this huge snowstorm. So between the power going out and a snowstorm and the roads being ridiculous, I went through a drift going out to check on Turbo that was as tall as the hood of my truck. So it almost stopped me and almost took me off the road, but it was just poof, we hit it. I was taking a friend to the bus station from where the horses are, and it just covered the truck windshield. I'm like, well, we're either gonna live or we're gonna die. And then sliding through intersections just north of me, there was just cars in the ditch in just nonstop. So yeah, crazy. This is actually from Paint Pony Studios, the one that does one of the awesome sticker clubs that I'm part of, and her mom makes these lovely dukes, and I loved it because it's the Thing 1 and Thing 2 color. I like it. So yeah, and then what else did we get going on this week? I revealed for the Medallion Club, which everybody's super excited about. I'm super excited about it. The glow ones turned out amazing. So there's 5 of those. They went out at random. We mixed up the boxes, so I don't know what was in what box. And so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully awesome people get them because you guys are all awesome, so can't not go to awesome places. And if you don't like the glow, I'm sure somebody will trade you. And if you wanted a glow and didn't get a glow, they actually make glow paints that you could use if you wanted to make the moon glow behind it. Yay! Good morning, Heather. Hi, Karen. We have lots of people. Teresa's like, I'm excited that it's horny. You just like the horny party. Good morning, Laura. Don't move to Alaska because there's snow. Oh, Christmas Day. And straight to spring. Yeah, no. We have lots of snow. And there's lots of snow in Alaska too, as Laura would know. I've got... What do I got? I got coffee. And hopefully this is working okay. The camera's reasonably good on my phone, so hopefully it should be fine. I'm a little stressed and concerned over my poor computer's boot error, but we'll live. Actually, yesterday when I was going to drop off the Medallion Club boxes, the second batch, so I did a first batch the other day, and then another batch yesterday. We break it up so that they're not just totally overwhelmed with 220 odd boxes. There was a Disney fan festival, not even joking. The shipping place is right here, and it opens up to this mall corridor, like the middle section of the mall, and like a courtyardy type area that they have escalators that go up, and then there's a stage that they do events at. And they had lining that entire intersection, and then up on the next level on the intersection, like vendors for everything Disney. So there was costumes, there was homemade craft, there was pins and pin trading, there was all sorts of collectible everything. So I walked in there and my brain exploded, and then I just wandered around in a daze going, oh my god, this is amazing, I didn't know this existed. So there's apparently a whole bunch of Disney collectors in my area, which is really cool. And I love pins and I love cool stuff, so I had to, of course, indulge. And there was lots of kids there, which was super fun, and I was happy. It made me happy. All right, so I brought Digi things. Oh, the swag I ended up with. So totally unintended purchases. It's like, oh, look, there's things. Is it good? Come on, camera. It was very, very chill music for what we're doing. It's gonna put me to sleep. It even has a little ducky. So excited. I couldn't pass up a Stitch. And then speaking of Stitch, what else could I pass up? We had this one. This camera's even less likely to focus than my normal camera. That's cool. Like, where's your face? So he's cute because he's the climbing version. And he would be cute on like lanyards, because that's generally how I guess a lot of the Disney pin collectors will do it, is they'll wear a lanyard and then they'll swap. The guy that was there was saying that they don't do very much swapping at the parks because you're not apparently allowed to do it anymore, which is really sad for people that collect pins. I got this guy. Ah! The many moods of Stitch. So there's happy with his duck. There's screaming. There's being trouble and climbing things apparently upside down like Spider-Man. And then there's birthday Stitch. So they had pins from everywhere, from the parks, all limited edition ones. I looked through probably thousands of pins yesterday. And they had everything. It was so cool. They even had a carousel one from the parks, which I thought was really neat because of ponies. I wish I could turn the music off. And then this one. Here we go. It was really hard to pick. There was everything Disney, and it was amazing. And I love pins. Apparently, I have a whole bunch of pins now. I actually have a drawer full of enamel pins and various things, which is really cool. I can't complain that I have a drawer full of enamel pins and stickers and cool stuff. I should lay it all out and take a photo for you guys. And then this one was extra cool because not only is it the Cheshire Cat, but it is done stained glass style. So it's stained glass style, so you can actually see behind it, and it's the Joker card, which is really cool too. So then it's got all its markings so that you can't counterfeit it, or hopefully less so. And then they had other ones in the set. I can see how this is a very, very slippery slope. Any of you guys collect pins or Disney pins and swag? It looks like such a fun thing to do. I'm gonna swap out my poor iPad, which is gonna die, and then I won't be able to see chat. So hold on. Like I said, impromptu setting up of things so that I could actually do a stream today, because my poor computer says it is toast. Alright, well, the lighting's gonna suck, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. So. Alright, unless... No, that won't hook up to this. I'll turn on my computer and let it make that boot then. Cool. Did anybody get anything cool in their mail for ponies this week? I ended up, I know the streams have been a little bit unpredictable. Maddie's been away for a couple of weeks and things have just been nuts. And I am on days. I'm here, so I'm on days. Which is kind of nice. Aha, better late. Managed to switch back. That was way harder than I anticipated. My body was like, we're gonna stay on nights. I like the quiet. So. I have no idea what I just did. There's only 2 ways to plug in a USB, and I always get it wrong. Every single time. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna take Xmas music. I need to get a cork board. So I have actually a big cork board. I think the Briar one's too small because they have the one with the fighter on it. I need a bigger one for all the pins. But it'll be cool. I like the ideas, and it gives me ideas to do pins kind of in the future, because there's such cool stuff that you can do with all the different designs. I don't know that that is an easy thing to do. Maybe? Probably not. That's probably like special order crazy train. But I'd like to do actual enamel pins at some point, because I know I talked about it in the past and I've done the acrylic one, and that is fun, but the enamel pins have their own extra level of crazy. Like it's that. There's just so many cool things to do, and then you got to learn kind of a little bit of the ins and outs of it, but that's so fun. Ooh, a denim vest covered in set pins. Teresa, I need pictures. And Lilo and Stitch is awesome. There were more Stitch pins, so they had probably another 30 that I left behind, sadly. Of all sorts of, like, there was him dressed up as different things, there was from different park events, there was one that was a Christmas one with a wreath. I'm like, I must draw a line somewhere. I can't, what? I gotta stop. I know, the whole self-restraint, self-control thing is really challenging. So, anyway. So yeah, it's been quite a week. I've been busy. We're still shipping batch G, which is Gnome, for biters. The Medallion Club tends to derail everything for a few days while we get that all sorted out. And it's been me doing it pretty well solo with a little bit of help from Chris, because he's been off, which has been nice when I used to record off the stream. No. I lose it? Hopefully not. Okay, I touched a thing and it killed the thing. Anyway, Chris has been home, which has been really nice, and he just finished a shutdown, which is the switch from the day to the days, and that is always a fun thing to try and do. So we're going to get some things done in the house as well while he's off. We had to make sure that everything was winterproof, because it now wintered outside. There are tons of things. I don't even want to look it up on eBay. I was going to look it up and I'm like, nope, that's bad. If I do that, then I'll end up with 5 bajillion things, and I don't have a self-control button. Working on it, but it's not very good. So I know I'm in a club of people that also probably feel the same way. It is very challenging to be like, oh, I want all the things, but I can't have all the things. Yeah, so we had to drain all of our lines, make sure that was all good, pull all the rugs in and out and all the boring stuff. And then poor Turbo yesterday went to go see him, and he's like, it's raining and snowing, which doesn't normally happen here. So he was cold, and we were having to make sure his feet were trimmed, and he was all happy, which was always good. But he's a good boy. And he, for the first time ever, which is super cool, for the first time ever, normally it took him a long time to learn how to trot beside me at Liberty, and he just was very untrusting of humans that wanted to be in the same space as him and then move beside him. He was like, excuse me. It turned into a panic attack a couple of times, but he's now way better at it, and he really likes it because he gets treats. And he can do a spin, so turning away from me and then turning around and going the other way, or not like a multi-turn spin, but we're working on it at Liberty, just with hand signals and stuff, which is cool. And yesterday, for the first time, he cantered with me at Liberty. So I was beside him, and I asked for a canter, which I do with, like, making a canter with my legs, which sounds really dumb, but you guys will get it. And trying to pick the right lead, which is really hard, so I can appreciate how horses struggle with it. I'm like, wait, which leg goes first? So mimicking like the beat and the rhythm of a canter, and then he cantered beside me in this nice, like, collected, happy, tiny little canter that was nice and soft, which he had the biggest struggle cantering ever when I first got him. He was like, gallop, I can trot and I can gallop, and I can trot fast sometimes, but I can't canter, and I definitely can't canter slow. So it was super, super cool. I almost cried. I gave him lots of cookies for that. It was very good. And then he was like, I will canter all the time now. Because once he gets something and he realizes that he's being rewarded not only with me, like, giving him a cookie, but when I get really excited, he gets really excited, and then all he wants to do is the thing that he just did that he was rewarded for. And that made me happy, which is the cutest thing ever. And it's making me tear up a little bit now. He's come such a long way. So yeah, it was super, super fun, and I had a lot of, like, good moments. But yeah, he went back out and he got a full bale of hay because they're out there eating all the time, trying to keep themselves warm, which is good because they make their own internal furnace when they're out there eating all the time, and it's his favorite thing to stuff his face with. So, and I can't disagree with him, but that is my favorite thing. So also in the mail, I got this lovely thing, and some of you might recognize the logo stamp. No Mad Horses! So this is Natalie Nimblett on its Sopama, which is actually, you guys should see this, which I'm going to show you in a second. It is very, very cool. So a non-breed specific sport type pony, and I think there's still some available if I'm not wrong. Released back into her field, caught in the middle of an enthusiastic frolic. Sculpted in 2022, the year of the... And it's ridiculous. Like, I saw this thing and I'm like, well, I need that, because what? And how it works is there's magnets in the bottom of the foot and the back of the foot and in the base. So that is a lot of setting of magnets, which I know sucks. And she suspends with those magnets and a bit of a pressure fit to get her to stand on there. I still move too jerky to make sure that that's cool and stuck in there. But look how cool that is. It's such a neat sculpture, and I love the little flippy tail. She's like, da 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 da! I am the boss. It's super, super fun. We're getting some really cool sculpts in the hobby. Not that we haven't always. It's just really fun to see people kind of taking it to the next level and doing the really dynamic things and playing with some ideas that maybe people wouldn't have done before. And I believe that those are all cast by her as well, which is really cool. Casting isn't the easiest thing in the world. I've mentioned that maybe in the past. I do have another Rayleigh says, my boy was a confused boy. He wasn't neck brain, but we were getting there. I fell off of him a month ago, and he stopped dead when I got back, or while I got back on. Tripped while trotting, and all I remember was flying over the pommel. Had a concussion, pulled groin. Oh, bruised tailbone. Ow, ow. Yeah. Saskatchewan's getting the brunt of it. Alberta's a little better. We just have really icy, unusual raininess that's mixing with the snowiness and the freezing, which is not a good combination for safe driving. But hopefully you feel better, really. That sucks and that hurts. Take care of yourself. Any ice packs and hot chocolate. Hot ice packs? Ice packs. Hot naked bed. I'm just gonna catch up on comments for a second here. 2 bajillion. Let's see. We need a video of all of this. Ooh! Andrea got the unicorn ornaments in a Gypsy Manor stablemate. Ooh, Tyrion unicorn ornaments. Toe tapper. Exciting. It's so fun when you can kind of have Christmas all year long. There's boxes that show up all year long. I quite enjoy it. And then with the Medallion Club stuff, it's fun to send out little boxes of happy too. It's almost better than getting boxes myself. Because I'm like, oh, these things are gonna go out and make people happy. And I wasn't sure how much of a hit this particular medallion would be. I really like it, but it's always hard for me to predict which ones are gonna do really well and which ones aren't. So kind of fun. Another fun thing, since it's Stitch themed, our Dollarama had a giant box of socks. And they're not the best quality. Like, they're really thin, kind of cheapy ones. But they're so cute. I couldn't do it. There's one Haley will appreciate in here that says easily distracted. There's him dressed up in costumes. I don't have them undone so you can actually see what's going on. Oh, here's the bigger ones. Stitch on a surfboard. Wow. What does it say? Here for the music. That almost makes a full stitch. So that was fun. I couldn't say no to that. And I really like the picture on the front. I might have a stitchy thing. I like the stitchies. What else do I have to show you guys? One of the other updates for the ever patient person that won this at Briarfest, not this year, but last year. So there were a few tweaks I wanted to make and adjustments I wanted to make because I wasn't quite happy with how I'd gotten some done on him. And so I've taken my time to kind of make him a little bit extra awesome. So hopefully his mama loves him because I enjoy him. And then he ended up getting really, really matte. So we ended up spraying him again. Sealer one sticky. It's just a battle. But he is super, super awesome. And then with the original finish glossy bay version coming out, I'm super excited to send this to his mama. So hopefully he can get in the show ring and be appreciated. Little pink nose. I really, really like the blue eye though. It worked out really well. The color worked out. I'm just really happy. There's part of me that wishes I would have not given him away for Briarfest and kept him, but it was super awesome home and she's super excited to have him. And then what else do I got for you guys? I have the reveal for the club. I didn't bring the stickers down, so I can't show you those. I have the November-December Medallion Club medallion pretty much all the way sculpted. So I'll be able to get a little bit of a head start because we won't be going away in December just for a week or so. Normally we would do that. Pre-COVID, we would have done that. But since COVID, we haven't gone. And normally we go to Vancouver Island and go surfing and go to the ocean. And that is a little town called Tofino and Eucalypt there that we really like going to. So if I can get ahead of it, then it makes life easier. Yay! And then the sticker design's almost done too. So I might get ahead. Yes. So I guess on that note, I go squirrel really fast. Yay! Wait, they should have put a squirrel on the easily distracted one? Yes, they should have. It would have been fun. It's hard to catch up on all the comments. Did my first official medallion last night, Katie. Good job. We need to see the pictures. Tag me. I want to see. So yeah, on the note of the Medallion Club, before I show the reveal for the people that want to skitter away and not have that spoiled, for the Medallion Club for the January-February block, I'm going to be sending out right away here a survey, and this is the first time I've really done this, and it's going to be for a People's Choice Medallion. So that means you guys get to have the input as to what you want to see. If you want to see realistic, if you want to see fantasy, what breed type you want to see, if you prefer the head, just the head to be done, or you want a full body, or if you want something performance-y with maybe tack on, if you like backgrounds, if you don't like backgrounds, and there's a whole bunch of different options on there. If you want other animals in the medallion or other like accessory type things, you want a horse that's interacting with something. I'm really excited to see what your responses are. I think that'd be really cool to see what kind of comes out on top for the Medallion Club. And it'll give me some insights too for going forward, what everybody wants to see kind of in general. So I think that'll be really cool. And the club's kind of morphed and changed and gotten quite a bit bigger than it used to be. So this is going to be really cool. And maybe about additional swag. So if you guys wanted to see, instead of stickers sometimes, if there was something else you wanted to see, maybe like keychains or lanyards or pins, if I can get, because of the size of the Medallion Club, I actually have some buying power for doing bulk order of things to get some things cheaper. So like I did those horse head keychains last year that I was able to get only because we had so members, which is really cool. And then the stickers where I was able to add because we have so many members, and that makes me super excited, and it's cool to be able to add fun things. With the new supplier, if I get ahead of it in time for the swag, I can potentially do the acrylic pins or keychains, lanyards, things like that. There might be other things that I can add into the whole shebang here and there. I'd like to kind of switch things up where I can. I know people really enjoy the stickers, so this gives you guys the opportunity to tell me what you want. Super excited. And then I always add an extra surprise here. So it'll be really cool. So those surveys will be going out to your emails directly within the next little bit here, probably within the next couple of weeks, so I can get ahead of things if I need to sculpt things and order swag. And it'll be really cool. I can't wait. It'll be fun to do the excitement of figuring out stuff. Really sauceless. Yes, he's fun to paint. Secondhand is fine. So there's no judgment from me or my studio staff to people who buy or sell secondhand. It is probably a bigger component to the hobby than I think a lot of people get credit for. I know a lot of people buy as investments to, you know, let them appreciate and sell them later, like pony stock market. And I know that a lot of times people increasing prices and selling for more than they purchased for, or significantly more than they purchased for, stresses a lot of people out, and can cause a little bit of strife. But the market also has the ability to self-correct. So if people are selling for too much, then things stagnate, they don't sell, and so the prices get lowered. So it's all kind of an ecosystem of what the hobby tolerates and what works within the hobby. So if you're in the Medallion Club and you don't like a medallion and you sell it on the secondary market, that's fine. That's totally part of the thing. I'm not going to hunt you down and light you on fire with torches or anything. That's not my jive or my jam. And I bought things and sold them for less than I paid for, and I bought things and sold them for more than I paid for. It depends on the market. And that's just part of the hobby. And I think it's a big part of the hobby. And I think it's kind of a fun part of the hobby, because there's been times where I've had to pay through the nose for something I really wanted. And there's been times where I've gotten a really good deal, and it just depends on the time. And kind of like gambling, if I want to compare it to that. So yeah, don't worry about buying something on the secondary market. If you can buy direct from the artist, that's awesome. We definitely like and appreciate the support, and it's what keeps us being able to do more stuff. But we also, I think all of us, regardless of everything else, understand that the secondary market is a huge part of how this works, and we've all bought off the secondary market. So it's just part of it. I wanted to leave a note before I go into the reveal, just on the idea. I was pondering on it the other day, and I know a lot of people are I've seen a lot of people post that they're leaving the hobby or selling their collections, and I think that's a feeling that a lot of us can relate to. I know I can. There's been a lot of times, and even recently, where there's been stuff going on in the hobby and the world at large, and we come to the hobby for kind of safe space and a happy space, and it's supposed to be not stressful. It's supposed to be stress relief at a time when things are just crazy. And horses have always been healing for me. So even within the last recent times, you see stuff go on, and it's like, I don't want to have any part of this. And those thoughts have gone through my mind, and I'm sure it's something that a lot of you can relate to too. The hobby can be really, really challenging at times, but I think that there's also, as much as there's people making things hard to participate and hard to kind of exist within the ecosystem of the hobby, we have the potential, and there's people out there making great effort to try and make the hobby awesome, and remind us of why we're here. And you get a pony in the mail and you squeak because look at how awesome it is, and it sits on the base and it's so exciting. And what color am I going to paint it? Do I need like 7 so I can paint all the colors? And then if I painted all the colors, do I sell one or do I not sell any because now I want to keep them all the colors? Or you get a pin and it's exciting. Like even at the Disney Fest thing that I went to, there were people saying that it's kind of ruining the fun of it when you can't trade pins and people are going to the park and a kid will get a really valuable pin, and some adults like, well, I'll trade you this, and it's really rare, but really it's a fake pin, and they're this for a fake one, and now you've ripped off the kid. So there's going to be shitty people in everything. It's just life. And my grand hope and belief and faith is that karma will catch up to those people, and it's going to suck for them. And they earned it. I think that, I operate on an idea of karma the best I can. So I try and do kind and nice things and put good vibes out there and be nice to people and use the golden rule. Others how you'd want to be treated. And I think that gets lost in the ether. So people ripping apart baby artists for maybe making a mistake when maybe they're not being taught what they need to do. Because how did any of us learn? We learned from other people saying, hold on. And in this current societal environment, it's really hard, I think, for people to say things like that and take somebody aside and they don't want to offer any sort of critique at all. And generally the rule is you don't do that unless it's asked for, but there are also certain times when someone's maybe stepped out of line, maybe they took a Breyer and they customized it and they want to cast it and they haven't asked for permission from Breyer, and generally cast customs are kind of on the sketchy side, and even with casting customs from Breyer with permission, the artist that sculpted that originally has signed away their rights, so they don't have a right to that piece. Breyer can do whatever they want, including approved cast customs, but that original artist might not be super okay with that, and that's something that they obviously sign on to when they join up with Breyer. because you no longer you're selling this piece to them and they own the rights. But that doesn't mean that there isn't somebody attached to it somewhere that doesn't have a say. And so it gets a little messy. Or recent things that came up a couple weeks ago or months ago or whatever, and there being a difference between, say, I wanted to sculpt something in a similar pose. There's only so many poses, and some poses are more distinct. Like this is going to be more distinct than a standing horse, or a trotting horse, or a walking horse, or a cantering Spanish, or like a stompy Mustang, right? Like there's a difference between someone bringing their own skills to the table and sculpting something that is similar to something else. And there's going to be a limitation to how many times we can sculpt something without something looking similar. There's also intent, and whether something's sculpted intentionally to be the exact same, or even with faux Fs, you're crossing the lines of this was a one-of-a-kind piece and now they've created a copy or a counterfeit of it, exactly the same, but they signed it and indicated that it's custom. Is that okay? The time will tell and the hobby will tell. And then you get into someone taking someone else's work, potentially, like with digital files, it's really easy to take that, scan something, or if you have access to the original digital file, and changing it, but leaving a whole bunch of their work on it and then calling it your own without any disclosure that any of that happened. And with base files, it's really hard. Like, Maggie gave full disclosure when she used, this is the original scan of what ended up being Hawk. And she cleaned it up, took the halter off, made it a little bit her own, right? Because she went in and had to redo details and things. But she didn't really change his pose or anything. But she disclosed that she was using a scan as the base because it's not her work using the scan. And then added her stuff on top of it, kind of like a collaboration between A Real Horse and Maggie, and then produced it. But anybody can buy this file. Like, I purchased the rights to it. I can use it for whatever I want. I wanted it for reference. If I wanted to take this digitally and move it, I could. But I would hope that someone was to do that, that you would disclose that you're using that base file as your base to do something with. Because yes, you bought the rights to this, but it's also not your work. I didn't sculpt his forms. If I changed his form, then I've changed it. So it's again like Calf Customs. It's this really muddy water that I think as a community we're going to have to learn how to navigate together. But there's so much stuff that goes on that makes you kind of want to leave. And I wanted to empower you guys and encourage all of you that you have the ability, just like I do, and just like anybody else does, to positive changes within the hobby. So creating, like, even if it's going out once a day, making a compliment to a new artist that's starting out on one of the boards on Facebook or something, or making a contest, or hosting a show, or going out there and just being positive and teaching. We need that within the hobby, and that's a really positive drive too. So I know Haley's been doing some classes privately and publicly for different things within the hobby, which is great, because how does somebody know these rules and these things that we've learned along the way if nobody teaches them, and if they just light them on fire every time that happens? I think there needs to be a little bit of grace. Obviously, multiple problems from the same person, or people blatantly doing things, crosses a line. And it gets really hard, I think, to make any sort of comment on anything these days, just with the environment being the way it is. Things get taken out of context and quite heavily sometimes. And intent plays a lot into it. So if I approach somebody with the intent to help them learn something that maybe they're not doing in a way that's helpful to them or the hobby or their customers, that's different than approaching somebody with the intent to publicly shame them and light them on fire in front of everybody for all to see. And we all have our own individual personalities. I can be a little bit soft to snappy, in my own temperament. So there's a lot of mitigating and managing that I do of that. And there's been mistakes I've made in the past with other artists and with my own business practices. And I think that a little bit of forgiveness and treating others how you'd want to be treated, that golden rule again, plays into it as well. So it's really hard to not take things for granted. We have, and I've said this before, we have this magical, awesome place that is the hobby. And I don't think I think it does a disservice for people that are higher up to be like, I don't think these things, like, I would never dream of leaving the model horse hobby. Or like, I can't relate to all you guys that think that this is whatever. We're humans too. Like, it's like saying I never make mistakes. Of course I make mistakes. Of course I say stupid things. I've said stuff in streams that people have been upset about that we've talked about later because they know me and they know that my intent wasn't to say something that would be hurtful to them. And I don't think a lot of people took it as hurtful, but it happens, and that's relationships, and that's life, and that's being human, and that's messy. It's just a messy mess. But knowing the person too, you can kind of take something into context of, well, have they done things like this in the past? Do they mean it? And all that. You add in all of your bits of knowledge about said person and your experience with them in the hobby. And, yeah, like having assholes in the hobby. They're going to be there. There's going to be people that take advantage. There's going to be people that are super giving and wonderful and magical and do secret Santas and teach other people and take the time out of their day to do awesome stuff. And we gotta, like the Mr. Rogers quote, we gotta look for the helpers and look for the good and focus on that and amplify that, because focusing on the bad only amplifies that. So refocus. Know that all of us have the same kind of feelings when stuff comes up of it just feels gross and you don't want to be here anymore. But I think that if we let them win out and let all the shitty people take over, they win, and then they get the cool horses. And what fun is that? Like, the heck with them. We can make our own space, make our own memories, have awesome good times, have our own cool ponies, have fun, laugh, enjoy the same, like, we all enjoy these commonalities whether we believe in the same things outside of this or not. Like, leave the politics and the crap out of it. Let's just enjoy the model horse hobby for being the horse hobby, and enjoy ponies and have fun and just be good humans. Be good humans. And I know you guys get this. The people watching this probably get this more than most, because you guys are here for a reason. But spread the message, spread the love, try and do something positive, focus on the good, and we'll get there. I promise you guys, we will get there. And even if we derive in our own like little happy bubble and the other people are doing crap over there, and we can just water off a duck's back. Don't be the trouble. I need to make sure. So yeah, that's my longer than anticipated rant. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. So I think we have an amazing magical thing, and I think if we water it and fertilize it and tend it and love on it and don't stomp on it, then we'll do good. And we're never going to get rid of all the crap. Such is life. It's in everything, in our jobs, in our homes, in our families, everywhere. There's going to be crap. So just don't focus on it. Ta-da. And on that ranty note that you guys lovingly stayed through, and I appreciate it, because I'm trying to make big changes too, and trying to put as much positive in as I can, focus on the good, and process my crappy feelings about crappy things that go on, and learn and teach and make it better. We'll get there. We will, I promise. Okay, so if you are leaving now because you don't want the spoiler, I love you. I will see you next Sunday, and hopefully I'll have that survey sent out by then and my computer running. Come on, computer. Yeah, because I'm about to spoil in like 10 seconds what the medallion. So, all right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Medallion Club. Da, 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 da. So he's really hard to photograph, and the lights definitely don't. So this is Hiroshi, and it is Japanese from a wide forest. And he's got lovely curly hair with, and these lights are going to obliterate it. Lovely curly hair with, because he needs to be a woody, unkempt thing. There's vines and leaves in his mane. He is a lovely first unicorn. Kind of along the lines of... So 12 years ago, I did Flying Free. Oh yeah, Flying Free is like, I look like great. This guy not so much. Yeah. Post proper pictures of them together, because it'll make more sense. So this was 12 years ago. This was also my first medallion, which is crazy. And then this is kind of a revisit of a very similar pose, obviously, kind of similar medallion idea. And then on the glowy version, the moon glows behind him in blue. He's got lots of little details that, of course, the lighting and the camera are going to absolutely destroy. His little lip and his little nose make me so happy inside. And he's got a beard, and he's got feathers and cloven feet, and lots of good muscles and wrinkles for you guys to enjoy painting. I really wish that the lights would do him more justice. Not kind of better. So he should be a lot of fun. I hope everybody enjoys him. And paints him all the pretty colors. And then, yeah, go paint the background. If you don't get a glowy one, you can paint it in glow paint. Because it'll be fairly, or actually the cast in glow. Because I know that one looks really cool. And it's super glow pigment too, so it actually glows ridiculously bright. Even in like lights, you can kind of see it glow, which is kind of fun. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this. The in the Medallion Club packaging in your boxes is also, one is a Halloween sticker, and that is not of my work, just an Amazon cute little Halloween sticker. And there's treats in the box, and there's also a believe glow in the dark sticker. So everything glows pretty well. Well, if you're a lucky person that gets one of these guys, that goes, it goes. And he's not too crazy thick, which is kind of fun. So should be a lot of fun. If you put a light behind him, I wanted to show this to you guys. I'll put a picture of it better, but the way it glows with a light behind it is super extra awesome. I like how that actually shows the details better. Of course it does. Sorry if you guys are motion sick. Look at that. So it looks really, really neat when you have just the light behind it, because all the details pop out. So that's a way that you can display your medallions too, if you wanted to put them like the light behind it and have it light up, like what do they call those? Stereolithographs or something? Super, super fun. Anyways, alright, on that note, I will post better pictures of the light behind him and the glowy and all that in a little bit, and then hopefully if I can get this computer boot issue fixed, then I can finish shipping all of your anniversary boxes and the biters and get on to, what are we? No, so H, batch H. I believe that is Honey Badger. Yes. Excellent. So I'll be sending you guys updates in a little bit on that. And then Scuttle will be going out, starting to go out right away. And I know I need to send you guys batch information to get those going so I can invoice you so you can pay so you can get a pony shipped to you. But all the swag just arrived. So now we are go time. We have casting, we have swag, and it is time for babies to arrive. So, all right. I love you all. Thank you for tolerating my rants and my overt positivity, I guess. We need more of that, I think. It's not, it's not enough. We need more happy places and happy things in the hobby. And I appreciate you guys for tolerating me and all of my stuff and coming and joining on the Sundays and being extra awesome friends and customers and people. You're awesome humans. All right. I will see you guys next Sunday. Love you all. See you on the flip side. Don't feed the trolls. Focus on the positive. We can do this.